Yeah. Hello everyone. Good morning. Myself Muralidhar Reddy. I'm a DevOps consultant and solution architect. Now we are going to discussing about how do we create the custom VPC in AWS. Earlier we discussed about default VPC, right? But in real time, we won't be use default VPC. We always create the custom VPC, like example dev VPC, QA, UAT, prod, report. Now we are going to create a dev VPC so that you'll get some idea. Okay. For that one, right? Let's take example. We have AWS account. Inside the AWS accounts, we have a North Virginia region. Inside the North Virginia region, what you have to do, right? You have to create one VPC. Let's take example, instead of Murli, just consider as a dev VPC. Okay. Now we are creating this particular VPC under this particular 10.100 series. As I said earlier, when you creating a VPC, you have to be create three ranges only. One is 10 series, second one is 172.16 series, third one is 172.32 series, third one is 192.168 series. In these three series only you have to create, but a majority of the organizations, they will be choose 10 series only. Okay. Coming to the 10 series, inside the 10 series, what I'm doing, right? 10.100 series I'm using and 0.0/16. Okay. This is the VPC range we are going to create. But remember guys, when you are creating the VPC, enter your organization, it should not be overlapping. The reason is like if you create, for example, you created for dev1 QA and the UAT prod, if you use same CADR range, if you want to be set up any peering, okay, it won't be support. If you are using transit gateway to route the traffic, it won't be work. That's why we always recommend to use, should not be used conflicted CADR range. Okay, understand that? Now inside this particular VPC, we are going to be create public subnets. Inside the public subnet, we are going to be create two subnets for high availability. Example, if you see here, Murli and Dev, Murli and public subnet 1A. This particular range is 10.100.8.0/21. And second thing is Murli public subnet 1B, because 1A, 1B I'm going to create for high availability. In real time, we always create a high availability. That's why we created 2 to 3 subnets. In our case, we are going to create the 2 subnets. Okay, whether two subnets or 3 subnets common only, just you have to choose the specific CADR range. If you observe here, for public subnet 1A, I choose 10.100.8 series. Okay, and coming to the public subnet 1B, I choose 10.100.16 series. How do we choose those things? You can use CADR subnet calculator. Go to Google. Go to Google here, and you can search with subnet calculator. Okay. Here, if you see here, MX toolbox, and here you can give it 10.100.8.0/21, right? Sorry, 8.0/21. 21 means how many servers we are getting? 2048. If you see here, it is starting for 10.100.8 and it is closing to, okay, it is closing to 10.100.15. That's why if you observe here, we are giving 10.100 to 8.0/21. It means it will, the end IP is 10.100.15. And that's why we are choosing 10.100.16. 16 means it won't be overlap, right? That's why we are giving. Okay. Same thing for private subnets as well. Private subnet, we are giving 10.100.80 and then 10.100.88. Okay. Understand, right? And coming to the app subnets, and here if you see here 10.100.144, 152. Okay. And the data subnets, we have 10.100.168 and 176 format. Okay. If you observe here, whatever we are going to create, all the subnets, it is not overlapping. Okay, understand that? If you are not aware how do we calculate, please have a look previous video, and also you can choose this MX toolbox to identify like what is the first IP and what is the last IP. If you see here, last IP is 15 series. Okay, then you can choose the 16. If you choose the 16, right? You can choose our alternative way. And here you have to remember, once you create the subnet, you can't modify the CAD array. You can't modify the CAD array. That's why be careful when you are setting in your organization, whether you want to be give 21 or whether you want to be give 20, depends on how many IPs you require for specific subnet. Choose it and you can create it. Okay. Again, I'm telling default. I mean, once you create the subnet, you can't be modified. Okay, understand that? You may ask question, Murli, why do we require private subnet, app subnet, or data subnet? Usually, private app data subnets all are private subnets only. But in real time, why we segregated? Let's take example. You want to be created AWS RDS. You want to be created any database related. If they wanted to be separate, if they wanted to be launch that server separately, they will be create the data subnets. So inside the data subnet, they will be launch all the database related. So that if they want to be troubleshoot or if they want to be check anything, right? They can easy to identify, okay, this RDS should be created in data subnet so that we can easy to, I mean, what I can say, like in the data subnets, we can easy to verify it database related. Okay, and coming to the app subnets, let's take example. If you are using AWS EKS, if you are trying to deploy the application, okay, you can use application related deployments, right? When you are creating nodes inside the EKS cluster, you can choose this app subnets to launch the server. Okay. And coming to the private subnets, these are common subnets. If you want to be any servers, okay, if you want to be launch it in private, okay, you can use the private subnets. And coming to the public subnets, if you want to be if you want to be launch any servers and access over the internet, you can choose the public subnet. Okay, understand that? Public, private, app, data subnets. Okay, this is the one of the most important question in interview level. How many subnets you have? What are the types of subnets you guys are created? You have to tell. We have a public subnets, private subnets, app subnet, data subnet. In data subnets, we'll be launch all the database related servers. Example, AWS RDS. Okay, MySQL, everything. And coming to the app subnets, let's take example. If you are using AWS EKS, AWS EKS will be deployed applications, right? Those related applications, worker nodes, EKS worker nodes will be launched the app subnets. And private subnet, this is a common subnet will be create. If anything, if you want to be launch any servers privately, we can use the private subnets. And coming to the public subnet, if you want to be create any servers over the access over the internet, you can use the public subnets. Let's take example. We will be launch the Bastion host server and jump server. We can call it as we can create here. Okay, clear, right? And once it is done, right? Once we create it, what we will do, right? We will be create one IGW. IGW is nothing but internet gateway. IGW is nothing but internet gateway. We will be create the IGW and will be attached to the VPC. Remember, one IGW we can attach only one VPC. Okay, we will be create and we will be attach it. If you are not attached, right, what will happen, right? Default, it won't be access over the internet. Remember, even though if we create a subnets in public, okay, if we create a public subnet and if you launch the server in public subnet, if you are not attached to the IGW to the VPC, you can't access. Okay, and this is one of the thing. And the next thing, what we'll do, right? We will create a one route table. Example, Murli F1 public F1 route table. Inside the route table, we will be attach all the subnets to the associated with this particular subnet route table, and we'll be declare the route is 0.0.0/0 to IGW. Okay, understand that? This is the diagram. Okay, again I am telling we have a AWS account. We have a inside the AWS account, we have a North Virginia. Inside the North Virginia, we are going to create one VPC and 4 subnets, public, private, app subnets. And for a high availability, we are creating each subnet, we are getting 2 subnets. Okay, 1A, 1B, 1A, 1B, 1A, 1B. Okay, and also we will be create the IGW and we will be attached to the VPC, and then we will be create the route table and we'll be attach all the public subnet associated with this particular route table, and then we'll be give the route is 0.0 to internet gateway, so that whatever we launching this particular public, whatever servers we are going to launch these public subnets, so it should be accessed over the internet. Okay, you may ask question, how about private subnet? We can discuss later part using NAT gateway. Current this video, we are going to discuss some major part is creating the VPC and public subnet route table, everything. Okay, let's see the demo so that you will get some idea. Okay, for that one, right? We have already, I already updated the entire step-by-step process in our GitHub, TechWall with Murli, AWS 0 to Hero. Inside the AWS 0 to Hero, day 13, setting up custom VPC. You can have a look here so that you'll get some idea. Okay, fine. And also I have updated the diagram. Okay, just one small change is, instead of Murli, we are considering wherever you are seeing the Murli, right? You are considering Dev VPC, Dev public subnets, Dev private subnet, like that. Okay, understand that? Here, first what we have to do, right? We have to create the VPC. So for that one, I have already logged into the AWS account. This is the AWS account. I'm in North Virginia. Okay. Now what you have to do, right? Go to that VPC. You can search it here. VPC. Okay. Click this one. Remember, VPC is region level. It means if I am creating North Virginia, under North Virginia, it should be that particular VPC available in North Virginia only. If you go with other region, right, you can't able to see it, that one. Okay, understand. Now, if you see here, this is the VPC dashboard. In left side, you can click the VPCs. This is the default VPC. As I said, 172.31 series we have. Okay, we use the default VPC. Remember, in real time, in interview level, they may ask question whether you really work or not. They will ask the question, are you guys using the default VPC? If we say yes, we are using default VPC, they can easy to identify, okay, this guy is not work. Okay, because we won't be use the default VPC, because default VPC entire account level, each region it is content same CADRL. So we won't be use, if in case if you want to be set up any peering, right, it won't be work, because both are overlapping CADR ranges. That's why that is the one reason. Second thing is, we always create our customized VPC. Okay, clear, right? Now we wanted to create it. That's why go to create a VPC, and here it is asking VPC only, VPC and more. You can select the VPC. First we will be create a VPC, and then we will create the subnets. Okay, now here if you see here, it is asking the name. What is the name you have to give it? I'm going to give the dev-VPC, and inside the North Virginia, okay, US East 1. Okay, and the range is 10.100 series. Now I'm giving here dev-VPC. Here, one of the most important thing, IPv4 CADR manual input, or if you want to be choose IPAM allocated IPv4, we always choose the IPv4 CADR manual input only. And then here it is asking the IPv4 CADR. Remember, guys, the CADR is most important. I'm giving 10.100.0.0/16. It means around it you will get 65,000 IPs. Okay, understand that? And also it is considering you always give the /16 to /28. As I said, right, this particular VPC, it is always recommended to /16 to /28 only. Okay, understand, right? Fine. Now, if you want to be, if you require IPv6, you can choose that specific IPv6. You can give it here, pool and everything. But remember, IPv6 we won't be use real time, so you can select the no IPv6 CADR. Okay, and coming to the tenancy, we have a default and dedicated. We always choose the default only. Select the default. Okay, and also if you want to give any tags, you can give it. Tags most important. The reason is, right, in real time, based on tags also, we can easily identify, okay, this VPC it is managing for particular purpose. Okay, which team are managing everything, you can able to identify it. Okay, that's why we always recommended to give the tags. Okay, understand that? You can create a VPC. Now, if you see here, now it is created the VPC. Here, one of the most important question in interview level, whether you really work or not, they can easily to identify. Hey, Murli, when we create the VPC, what are the components will be created default? One is main route table. Route table it will be create default route table, default NACL, default security group, it will be create. Remember, again, I'm telling default route table, default NACL, okay, default security group will be create when we create the VPC. Understand, right? And see here, VPC ID, as we already discussed, VPC ID, whether it is available or not, DNS host names, whether it is enabled or not, DNS visualization, okay, what is the tenancy, whether it is default or dedicated. And also you can see the DHCP. Okay, dynamic host configuration of protocol. We can discuss more on this one when it comes to the directory service. We have to update this. We have to create our own DHCP. Okay, and you can see it here, and everything's fine. Here, one of the most important default VPC. No, it means it is not default VPC. If it is default VPC, right, it will show the yes. Okay, and what is the CADR range, IPv4. Okay, everything's fine, right? And also you can see here roadmap. And here you can see the CADR range, and also you can, if you enabling flow logs, right, you can see it here. I will show you later part how do we enabling flow logs for VPC. This is also one of the most important. And tags, if you want to be added, you can add it. And integration, have you done any integration with CloudWatch? Monitor, you can see it here. Currently, no. Okay, and also you can see it here. If you want to be create a flow logs, if you want to be edit any VPC settings, you can do that. Okay, you can click this one so that you can see it here. Okay, and also I'm selecting the DNS host name. Okay, when you launch the server, right, it will give the DNS host name as well. Just enable it. Okay, and the CADR, if you want to be edit, remember one thing, whatever you given existing CADR, you can't be removed. But if you want to be add one more CADR range, you can do that one. But in real time, in reality, we won't be add one more VP CADR. We always choose the only single CADR. Okay, understand it? And in case if you want to be manage the tags, if you want to be delete it, you can do that one. Okay, clear, right? This one clear, right? Any questions? So first part is completed. Step 1 is completed. Now we are going to create with the step 2. Now, as I said, right, for creating the subnets, we are going to create public subnet, private subnet, app subnet, data subnet. Remember one thing, in real time same only, but here we are creating 2 subnets, but in real time it may contain 3 subnets. Okay, for high availability. Now here what we are going to do, right? We are going to give the dev public subnets 1A, and we are giving that specific CADR range. Same dev public subnet 1B, and we are giving the specific CADR range. So I already put all the steps, and also I verified whether it is overlapping or not. I have verified using Max Toolbox. So here we don't have any overlapping CADR ranges. Okay, fine. Now what I'm going to do, right? Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a one subnet. For that one, go to the subnets left side. Here, if you see here, these are the default VPCs. Now we are going to create the custom subnet. Okay, create a one. And remember, guys, when you create this VPC, right, it won't be default. Create any subnets, we have to be created. Okay, now here you have to select the specific VPC. You can do the device one VPC. And if you see here, associated CADR in this one, it means like when you are creating any subnet, you have to be that particular CADR range of subnet should be under 10.100 series only. Okay, remember. If you see here, you have to give the subnet name. I'm giving here. And also here, when you, one of the most important, which available zone you are going to create the 1A. 1A means you have to select the 1A available zone. Okay, if you see here, US is to 1A. You already ever read earlier, we discussed initial class. Each region we have is different available zones. Example, North Virginia, we have a 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D, 1A, 1F. Okay, now I'm going to create the 1A. Now here, one of the most important, you have to give the IPv4 CADR range. Now what I'm giving here, right? I'm giving 10.100.8.0/21. Okay, /21. Understand that? /21 I'm giving. Okay. Now if you see here, here we have a text. If you can give the name and the value, that is fine. And you can create the subnet. Now if you see here, now we have created the subnet. The subnet means dev from public subnet 1A. It means like we have created the dev public subnet 1A. And if you select this one, you can see it all the things. Okay, when you create a subnet, right, you can see subnet ID. Okay, and what is the ARN, whether available or not, what is the CADR range. Okay, available IPv4 addresses. Okay, and also you can check it here. Available zone ID. Each available zone, it contains available zone ID, available zone. Okay, and also you can check it here, IPv6. Okay, what is the VPC we have launched? Okay, and if you see here any route table, okay, and here one thing you have to remember, when you create any subnet, default it is associated with default VPC, default route table. It means like when you create any subnet, it is automatically attached to the default route table. Okay, you can check it here. Here you can see the route table. Okay, it is not attached to default route table. It is attached. Okay, if you see here, it is attached to the default route table, and also network ACL, it is automatically attached. CAD reservation, if you have any sharing, if you share this subnet to any other account, you can see it here. What are the tags you can able to hear? Okay, able to see here. Understand that? Okay. Now what we have to do, right? What we have to do, right? And also one more thing, if you see here, any public autos and public IPv4 not yet enabled, we have to enable, because this we are going to consider as this is a public subnet. That is the reason you have to enabling this autos and public IPv4. Okay, how do we do? For that one, go to the you have to select this one and go to the actions, and here you can select the edit subnet. Okay, here you can enable that and enable autos and public IP. It means like when you launch the server, this particular subnet, right? It is automatically create the public subnet. Okay, understand that? Now it's fine. Now what you have to do? Tell me. Now what you have to do, right? We have created only one subnet. We are going to create the 1B subnet. Here, if you see here, dev-hyphen public subnet 1B. Now create a subnet. You can select the specific VPC. If you see here, this is the CADR length. Now I'm giving here. And now what I'm doing here, right? I'm selecting the available zone is 1B. And here I'm giving wantelly, I'm giving here IPv4 subnet CADR range. Okay, I'm giving wantelly existing CADR range. What will happen? It means like I'm giving 10.0.0/16. We already created, right? But still, I'm just wanted to see what error we will get it. Okay. Now you can click the create one. It is showing like CADR overlapping, existing subnet CADR. So it means like don't use it. Even if you give 21 also, it should be through the same error only. So for that one, right, you have to choose the without overlapping. Okay. Now you can give the 10.100.106, 10.100.106. You can give it here 10.100.106. You can create a subnet. Now if you see here, we have created a subnet. This is a public subnet. As I said, right? If you and you can see it here, the name and subnet ID, what is the available, whether status available or creating, deleting. Okay, which VPC we have created, and you can also check it here. IPv4 CADR, and also you can check it here IPv6 CADR. Okay, and also here, if you remember, usually we will get 2048, but 5 IPs reserved, right? That's why you are able to see, right? Current available one is 2043 only, because 5 always reserved. Okay, first 4, last 1. Okay, we already discussed, right, earlier class. Okay, and you can see it here, right? Available zone and available zone ID, and also you can check it here. Network border group. It means like what is the group region name? It is same only. Okay, and also you can check it here. This particular any route table is attached, and also network ACL. Okay, default subnets are not no. Okay, autos assign IPs enable or not, we can see it here. Okay, customer own IPv4 pool, everything you can see it here. Now what you have to do, right? This is also public subnet. That's why we need to enable the IPv4, public IPv4. For that one, right? Go to here, edit subnets, and you can enabling the public subnets. Okay, fine. We did for both subnet, public and both public 1A and 1B. We have enabled the IPv4, public IPv4. Now what you have to do, right? Tell me what you have to do, right? We have to create the private subnets as well. Same private subnets, same process. Now I'm going to give it dev-hyphen private subnet 1 here. Go to here, and you can create the create it, select here. You can give that CADR name, and you can select that 1A, and you can copy this particular CADR length 10.100.80. You may ask question, Murli, after 16 you can give the 24 or 25, right? Yes, correct. But the thing is, I'm giving the some gap between public and private, so that in case if in future, right, if you required another public, right, you can create 16 means 24. After 10.100.25, you can choose that one instead of clumsy. Okay, now so that is the reason I have given some space between this 16 to 80. Okay, you can your wish, you can give that same continuous. Okay, one thing you have to remember in interview level, they will ask, okay, whether you expert or not. So they will ask, once I create the subnet, is it possible to change the CADR range? Example, I have given /21. Is it possible to give /20? No, it is not possible. Once you create, you can't edit it. Okay. Now, if you see here, whatever I given that 2048 IPC are coming. Okay, in this particular 2048, there are 5 IPCs reserved. It means 2043 we have. Okay, give it create a subnet. Now it is created, 1B it is created, or 1A it is created, and now I'm going to create the 1B as well. You may ask question, for private subnet, do we require a public IP? No, right? That's why we don't require to enabling it. Okay. Now I'm going to give it here, 1B, device on private 1B. I'm giving this particular CADR range. Okay. 1B, I'm giving here. Okay. Now we can create a subnet. Now private subnet is created, right? Now what you have to do, right? You can create the app subnet. App subnets 1 year. Create a subnet, select that VPC. Okay. Select the name and you can select the 1 year. And here you have to give the 10.100 series one. You can give the 10.144. Here also same. After 88, right? I give some space and I'm choosing the 10.100 144. Okay. Fine. Now you can choose it here and create a subnet. Okay. Now you can create a 1B subnet, app 1B subnet. Remember again telling app data private, all are private subnets only. But just we are segregating to launch application related app subnet, database related data subnets. Okay. Now you can give it here 1B. /21 and you can give it here, create a subnet 1B. Okay. Now you can choose it here, devs data subnet 1 year. Okay. Now you can give it here, select this dev data subnets 1 year and you can give it here the 168. Okay. I'm giving, you can select the 1 year and same whatever you created. Okay. Now you can create the subnets. Okay. Now dev data subnet 1B, I'm giving. Now we have to give it 1B and we can choose this 10.100.176. Okay, choose the 1B. Now we can give it here. Let's create a subnet. Okay. Now if you observe here, we have created all the subnets. So if you see here, we have created dev 1B, 1A, 1B public, private, data, app subnets. Okay. Remember one thing, in real time, right? It may be 3 subnets, 3 public subnet, 3 private subnet, 3 data subnet, 3 app subnets. Okay. But in our case, it is a 1A, 1B, 1A, 1B. Okay. Or 2 subnets also is fine, but highly recommended to use 3 subnets. Okay. Clear, right? Creation of subnets is fine. Now what you have to do, right? Only creating subnets, what will happen? All the subnets, it will be attached to the default route table. If you see here, go to the route table. Now you can see it here. Here we have a default route table, that is device VPC. Select this one. Okay. Now you can check it here. Go to the association. You can see it here. All subnet is associated. Okay. Main route table or default route table, both are same only. Now what you have to do, right? You have to create the route table. Before going to create it, we have to create the IGW. IGW is nothing but internet gateway. Okay. And you have to attach to the VPC. Okay. For that one, right? Go to the internet gateway and you can create the internet gateway. And here you can give that name. What is the name? dev-vpc IGW. Remember, IGW is nothing but internet gateway. That is the shortcut name. Okay. Here, if you want, you can give the tags as well and create a internet gateway. Here you have to remember, once we create the internet gateway, okay, the particular single internet gateway we can attach single VPC only. Same vice versa. One VPC can attach only one IGW. Okay. Now, if you see here, it is the ID and state whether it is attached or detached. Currently, just created, we haven't attached. That's why you are not seeing any VPC ID. This is the name. Okay. Understand that? Now you can check it here. Now we created. What you have to do, right? go to select that particular one, and we have to attach this particular VPC to the, particular this internet gateway to the VPC. For that one, right, go to the actions, and here we have option attach to VPC. Select this attach to VPC, and you can select the particular one. Remember, you can directly select from console, and if you are planning to do through command prompt, right, you can use this command to attach it. Okay, currently we did, right, just attach internet gateway. Now what is happen? Now we have attached to this particular VPC to the particular internet gateway to the VPC. If you see here, we attach to the dev VPC. Understand, right? This part is completed. Now what you have to do, right? You have to create the route table. What we will do in real time, right? For public route table, we will be create the public subnet. We will be create the public route table, and private subnets, either private subnet, app subnet, or data subnet. We always create the separate private route table. Okay, because public subnet we may have different restrictions, and private subnet we may have different restrictions. That's why we always recommend for public subnet create a separate route table, and private app data subnet create a separate route table and associate it. Okay, now what I'm going to do, right, I'm going to create the dev public route table, and I'm going to attach to the public subnets. Okay, for that one, right, I'm going to give this dev VPC public route table. So if you go to this particular one, right, here we have a left side route table. Default, as I said, right, this is the default one. Now what I'm going to do, right, I'm going to create a new one, give the name, and you have to select the particular VPC. Okay, now you can create it. Okay, again I'm telling, highly recommend, try to use the tags. Okay, fine, create a route table. Now if you see here, now we have created the route table, that is fine. And also you can see it here, what is the VPC, whether it is main route table or not. Remember, as I said earlier, when you create the VPC, default it will create the default route table, that is called as main route table. If it is a main route table, right, it will show here like yes. But currently no, right? No, that's why it is showing that it is not default route table. And if you see here, when you create the route table default routes, it contains the 10.100 series. It means, right, whatever we subnets associated, okay, any internal IP ranges, 10.100 series. It means like if you create any server, right, it will be create one private IP. So internal IPs, it will be communicate internal only. Okay, in between, inside this particular 10.100.0./16 series, any IPs internally it will communicate default. It will be route the traffic. Okay, but in case if you want to be route the traffic external, example load balancer, you can give it 0.0. Sorry, internet gateway, you can give the 0.0. I will show you later part. Okay, now we have created route table, and we have to associate the public subnet to this particular route table. For that one, right, you can select the subnet association, edit subnet associations. Here you have to select the public related. If you see here, public 1A, 1B, I'm selecting, and you can come down. Here we have an option, save association. Here, one of the most important thing, once you attach the particular subnets to the other route table, whatever we attach to previous route table, right, it will be detached and it will attach to the new route table. Understand, right, what I'm saying? Let's take example. When we create the subnets, it is attached default route table. But now I have created new route table, I'm attached, right? It means like default route table, it is detached the particular subnets and attached to this particular dev VPC public route table. If you see here, we have a subnet association. You can see whatever we have a subnets, and still remaining private app data subnet, still it is attached to the main route table only. We have to create and we have to attach to the a private route table. Okay, understand, right? You can come to here, edge association. If you have any route propagation, if it is route propagation, it is support only for virtual private gateways. If you have any, it means it is if you enabling this one, right, it is automatically add to the routes. Okay, and you can check it here, tags. Understand, right? If you see here, explicit subnet association, we have two subnets we have attached for public. Okay, and also you can check it here. If you want to be edit subnet association, you can do that. In case if you want to be edit the edge associations, if you want to be edit the route propagation, you can do that. If you want to be edit routes also, you can do that one. Okay, and in case if you want to manage the tags, you can do that one. Okay, in case if you want to be delete the route table also, you can do this, select this one, and it will ask delete it. Okay. Before going to delete, right, you have to be detach whatever you attach the subnets. Okay. That's why it is throwing the error. Okay. Clear, right? Now we are seeing that the dev VPC public route table, that is fine. Now what we have to do, right? Now what we have to do, again we have to create the dev open VPC private route table, and we have to attach private app data subnets. Okay, again I'm telling, for private subnets app data, it is common, similar. That's why we will be create a separate route table, dev VPC private route table, and we will be attaching. Sometimes, right, what we will do in real time, okay, for app subnets, we will be create the separate route table. Okay, private subnet will be create the separate route table, data subnet will be create the separate route table. That is also will be follow. And one more thing also will be follow like, for 1 year, right, 1 year available zone will be create the private route table 1A, private route table 1B, private route table 1C, and then app data private app data subnets 1 year related one, you will be attached to the 1 year route table. Okay, we will be follow like that also. That is depends on use cases and project level. Okay, now what we are going to do, right, we are going to create the dev-hyphen VPC private route table, and we are going to attach the subnets. Okay, for that one, right, you go to the route tables, create a route table, and you can give it here and select the particular VPC. Okay, now you can create a route table. Remember one thing, once you create a new route table, it won't be attached any subnets by default. Now what you have to do, right, you have to associate the subnets whatever you want. Okay, now you can select the subnet associations. Okay, here you can select the edit subnet associations. Here you have to select the specific subnets. If you observe here, 1A 1B, it is already attached to the dev VPC public route table. So now we have a remaining private app data. Okay, I'm going to attach all are private only, right? So we can easy to route the traffic. That's why we are selecting that a single private route table. We are attaching all the private subnets, private app data subnets. Okay, click this save association. Now, if you see here, we have attached 6 subnets to this particular private route table. It means like in default route table, right, we don't have any, it is not associated anything, because all public and private subnets we have attached to the public route table for public subnets, private route table, private app data route table, subnets to the private route table. Okay, now you can see it here. This is the one, and also you can check this actions. You can, if you want to be edit, as I said, right, you can do that one. In case if you want to be set this route table as a main route table, you can do that one as well. Recently came. Okay, fine, clear. Now subnet associations, you can check it here. Okay, and also you can see the edge association, edge route table, route propagation. Here one of the most important thing, once you create the route table, whether it is public or private, all are private only, under private only. It won't be having any internet access. The reason is, until you add the internet gateway to the particular route table, it means whatever we attach the subnet to the particular route table, it will act as a public subnets. Okay, for that one, right, what we have to do, okay, we have to attach, we have to add the route to the public route table. It means like inside the public route table, we have attached the public subnets. Okay, once we add the particular internet gateway, what will happen, right? Whatever you are going to launch the IP servers to the particular public subnet, it will act as a public access. Okay, now what you have to do, right? Go to the routes, and you can select here public route table, and here we have routes, and here, as I said, right, 10.100 series is internal communicate. But if you want to be access internet, what you have to do, create edit, and you give the add route, and here destination you have to give the 0.0. Okay, 0.0 is nothing but it is except this whatever we have 10.100 series, remaining it is go to the what exactly where you want to go. Okay, for that particular target, right, you can select the internet gateway, and you can select the particular internet gateway here. Okay, understand, right? In the internet gateway, you can see it here. Okay, I hope understand, right? Okay, it means, right, whatever 10.100 series, it is internally communicate. Apart from that, if anything 0 remaining one, it will be go to the internet. It means like we have a internet access. Okay, now you can click the save changes. Now what will happen if I create any server in this particular public subnets? Now it will having the access for internet, because in routes, right, I have updated the 0.0 to internet gateway. That is the reason this particular any servers is launching to the particular subnet, it will having the access, public access. Okay, understand, right? It will having the over the internet access. Okay, understand, right? Now what you have to do, right? We have attached it. Okay, fine. Now what we can do, we can launch the instance and we will connect the server and we can use yum install command. So whether it is accessing or not, we can see it. Okay, now for that one, what I'm going to do, okay, go to the EC2. Okay, now go to the EC2. Now here I'm going to launch the server. Okay, usually so far what we did, just we are creating a default VPC particular server, right? But now we are going to create a specific subnets and specific VPC. Okay, in real time, same process only. Now I'm giving Linux server. Okay, Linux public server, you can mention. Okay, now you can come down. Here you can select the other, you are going to create a Linux or Windows. I'm going to create Amazon Linux. That is Amazon Linux 2. Okay. Now what I'm doing here, right? Come down. And now I'm going to create the tutorial micro. That is fine. And you can select here, keeper is dev. Okay. Here one of the most important, where you are going to create this server. We have a custom VPC, right? Select that one. Here you have to select the dropdown dev. And here very most important, whatever we created subnets, you can able to see it here. For our case, right, you have to create the public subnet, right? I'm going to create the under the public subnet one here. Select this one. Once you enabling this one, right? Select this one, right? If you see here, auto assign public IP, it is showing that enable. The reason is, right, in subnet level, we have enable IPv for public. If you remember, go to the subnets. Okay, select the public subnet, go to the actions, edit subnet settings. Here I have enabled, right? That's why it is automatically enabling the IP. Okay, understand that? And here we have a firewall. You can select that existing and you can select the default VPC. Okay, now you can come down, and in case advanced settings we have, if you want, you can attach it. But currently, just I'm going to show you how do we launch it. If you are not aware how to launch the server, you can see the EC2 course so that you will get some idea service. Okay, now I'm going to launch it. Now we can see it launch instance. Now once we are launching the instance, right, what will happen? It will create the instance ID. Now we can check it here. It may take 1 or 2 minutes to enter the particular server. Now if you see here, select this one. Now if you see here, this is the name instance ID showing the status pending or creating, pending or destroying, okay, shutting down, terminated, you can see it here. And also you can see it here, one of the most, where exactly we have launched 1 year. And if you see here, we have enabled public, right? That's why public IPv4 DNS. Public IPv4, it is created. And also you can see it if you have any elastic AP. Okay, understand that? Now come down. If you select the particular server, if you come and see it here, which VPC we have launched it and which subnet also we have launched it. If you see here, we have launched the public subnet. And that's why if you see here, it is launched the public subnet. Now it is assigned the public IP because we have enabling at subnet level, and also we have created route table, and the particular route table we have associated the public subnets, and also we have created the routes inside the route table as a 0.0 to route the traffic to the internet, that is internet gateway. Okay. Sorry. Now I'm selecting this particular IP, copy this IP, public IP, okay, not private IP. In case if you want to be connect private IP, you require client VPN. We'll discuss when it comes to the directory service so that you will get some idea. Okay, fine. Now what I'm going to do, CMD. Okay, now you can get here SSH-I, SSH-I dev.pem EC2-user, and you can give the public IP. Now, if you see here, I'm trying to access. Okay, maybe there is no enabling. Go to the security group. Okay. select the security group default one, and we have to enabling the port. Okay, edit inbound rule, and you can enable it here. SSH. Not enable the port number, that's why I'm giving the anywhere, but anywhere is not recommended. You always give the client VPN CADRN so that you can access it. Okay, fine. Now you can write. Now if you see here, it is asking yes, give the yes. Now if you see here, EC-user, yes. Okay, clear it? Now you can give it here. Okay, control it. Now, as I said, right, I have created a server under the public subnet, but the public subnets, whatever we have as a public 1A1B subnets, we have attached to the public route table. Inside the public route table, we have created the route as a 0.0 to go to the over the internet. Now, what I'm doing here, right? I'm giving the install command. Install git -y. If you give it here, right? If we have access for internet, right? You can install anything from internet. Example, I'm installing the git. Now, if you see here, it is downloading from internet. Okay, understand, right? This is the process of creating EC2 and to verifying it. Here, I'm going to show you one thing. Okay, in case in VPC level, in subnet level, go to route table. Okay, now what I'm doing here, right? This public route table, I'm removing this 0.0. Okay, internet gateway, I'm removing. Okay, select this one, remove, save changes. Now I'm trying to install it. Okay, now I'm trying to install it. If you see here, now what I'm doing here, right? I'm trying to install. Example, I'm trying to install HTTPD. See, once I remove, right, even the server also is disconnected. Okay, server also it is disconnected. Okay, understand that? This is the problem. Even though if you create a public subnet, if you are not attaching, okay, it will be disconnect the particular server as well, because we connected with the public API, right? And inside the public subnets, if you want to be, it should be at the particular route. Okay, otherwise it's immediately it is disconnected. Now I'm trying to access, it is not accessing. Again, I'm going to add it, edit routes, add routes. I'm giving here, right, 0.0. Now here you can give the internet gateway, and you can give the internet gateway ID, and fine. Now if you see here, okay, now I'm trying to connect, immediately it will be connected. The reason is we have enabled, again, we have added the routes as the internet gateway. Understand, right? If you go and go to the documentation, okay, now if you see here, you launch the instance in public subnet, we connected the servers through putty, and also we have installed the install git command. It is installing. It means like the particular server having the internet access. Okay, understand, right? Any questions so far? Yeah, just we recap what we created. We created one VPC that is the under 10.100 series. And also we have created public subnets, under two available zones for high availability, private subnet, app, data subnets. Okay, and then we have created that internet gateway, and we have attached that particular internet gateway to the VPC. And we create a route table for public subnets. We create a public route table. For app, data, private subnets, we created the private route table, and we have associated public route table related to public subnets, app data, private related subnets attached to the associate to the private route table. Now, then what we did, right? We have, we have add the route to the, internet gateway related, add the route to the public route table, and we have launched the EC2 instance, and we are able to access, and also we use install command. We are able to get that particular one. Understand, right? This is the major important thing, one of the most important. And one more thing, when it comes to the interview level, right? They may ask question, have you guys using default VPC? Don't say yes. We won't be never use in real time default VPC. We always create the CADR range. And coming to that, what is the CADR range you guys are using? You can tell that 10.100 series for dev, 10.120 series for QA, okay, 10.140 series for UAT prod. Like that, you can tell them, so that okay, this guy is aware of. And one more thing, we always create 10.100 series or 172.31 series or 192.168 series only. We won't be create the any public related CADR ranges. Example, we won't be create 11.0.0 something. We always create the either 10 series, 172 or 192.168 only. Okay, clear, right? Next thing, right? When we create the VPC, what are the default components will be created? Default will be create. One is security group will be create. Second one is security group. Second one is NACL, default NACL, default route table will be created. Okay. And the next thing is it should not be overlap either subnet level or VPC level also. It should not be overlap. In real time, one of the most important thing, we always maintain the confidence space. We will update all the CADR ranges. When anyone creating the new VPC, right? They will be review that particular confidence space and they will be choose should not be any overlapping CIDR. Okay, understand, right? Any questions now? And so far we discussed about public subnets, and the next video we are going to discussing about this topic. We are going to discussing about how we can be give the access for public private subnets to give the go to the internet gateway. Sorry, internet using the NAT gateway. I will show you later part. Okay, I hope understand, right? Still any questions now? And one more thing, we have a Tech World with Murli website. Inside the website, I will be publish all the DevOps related courses, DevOps, AWS, Kubernetes, Terraform, logging and monitoring, okay, Helm, and also Azure, Google Cloud, everything I will be published here. If anyone planning to enroll the course, you can use the DevOps 50 coupon code to get 50% discount for 1 year plan. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me via LinkedIn or Instagram, Telegram. And also we have a Telegram group, Tech World with Murli. You can join there. I will be posted updated one so that you will get more updates. Thanks for watching this video. We will see next video.